नूर खान बेस में आके गिरा है ये अटैक हुआ है नूर खान बेस पे
If you ask to a Pakistani whether you lost or won, you say, my chief has become Field Marshal, we must have won only, that's why he has become Field Marshal.
This is failed Marshal Asim Munir at the center of the potshots by Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi, and rightly so. He is on a second visit to the United States in 2 months, this time to participate in change of guard ceremony of the American Central Command.
Shame on you, bad brothers! Shame on you!
Munir also attended the farewell of General Mike Kurilla, who retired as head of the command that oversees American security interests from Pakistan and Afghanistan to Egypt and Sudan, and also much of the Middle East. The same Kurilla who praised Pakistan before a Senate hearing.
And that's why we need, if I could.
Yes, please.
We have to have a relationship with Pakistan and with India. I do not believe it is a binary switch, that we can't have one with Pakistan if we have a relationship with India. We should look at the merits of the relationship for the positives that it has. They're hanging out right in that border area of Pakistan. And I would also tell you that, since 2024, the beginning, Pakistan had over 1,000 terrorist attacks in the western area, killing about 700 security and civilians and 2,500 wounded. They're in an active counterterrorism fight right now, and they have been a phenomenal partner in the counterterrorism world.
And was duly rewarded with Pakistan's highest military honor for his services. But the Munir machinations go right up to the United States President Donald Trump.
But now we speak to him, and I'm so happy. There was a deal that two smart people, plus, they had people on their staff too, but two very smart people decided not to keep going with that war. That could have been a nuclear war. Those are two nuclear powers, big ones, big nuclear powers, and they decided not. So I was honored to meet him today.
This was in the month of June, and effusive Trump was fresh out of dinner meeting with the Pakistani general.
It is unusual, for the, first of all, the Army Chief being invited to the White House. That itself was unusual. Then going again in quick succession. The reason which is being given out is that he's attending the farewell of the outgoing CENTCOM chief. But that is probably just an excuse. There's obviously more substantive issues at hand. And some of the issues that I can think of. One, you see, everybody presumed that his tenure expires in November 2025, and everybody presumed that because he becomes Field Marshal, he will automatically continue. But that is not so. Field Marshal is only the rank. The post of Chief of Army Staff was for 4 years, and he can get for another 2 years.
In the shadow of India's Operation Sindoor and having publicly condemned the Pahalgam terror attack, Trump had made an about turn. Trump was not only obliging the general responsible for the attack, but showering him with praise. Something did not add up. For instance, Pakistan has been exposed by United States itself after the Resistance Front, a proxy of Lashkar-e-Taiba, was terror-attacked. Asim Munir's rise despite the disaster during India-Pakistan conflict has led to the reports of army takeover fears growing in Pakistan, even though Pakistan is trying hard to reject such reports. Pakistan's economy has been in shambles for the past decade and is sustaining on global loans. Yet, it is India under Trump's fire.
We've been very successful in settling wars. You have India, Pakistan, you have Rwanda and the Congo. That was going on for 30 years. India, take a look at what we just did with Pakistan and India. We settled that whole thing, and I think I settled it through trade. We're doing a big deal with India. We're doing a big deal with Pakistan. And India is my friend, Modi. And he's a
mutual friend?
Yeah, he's a great guy. Well, I stopped a war between Pakistan. I love Pakistan. I think Modi is a fantastic man. I spoke to him last night. We're going to make a trade deal. Today's signing follows our success with India and Pakistan. They were going at it.
Roughly the same time, Trump started panning India. In what seemed like a motivated campaign, the American president started ratcheting up his tariff jibes against India.
We've made a lot of progress, and as you know, we put a 50% tariff on India on oil. They're the second largest. They're very close to China in terms of the purchase of oil from Russia. But so I don't know if that had anything to. It may happen. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you yet, but we did it with India. We're doing it probably with a couple of others.
Only now things are falling in place. These reports suggested a phone call between Prime Minister Modi and President Donald Trump did not go well. Trump wanted to ram through a photo op with Prime Minister Modi and failed Marshal Munir by his side, like the one he had with the leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan on Saturday. All this just to buttress his Nobel Peace Prize claims. But of course, not only that Prime Minister Modi did not oblige, he rubbed it in with his speech in Parliament, making it clear no world leader forced India's hands on Operation Sindoor.
दुनिया के किसी भी नेता ने भारत के ऑपरेशन रोकने के लिए नहीं कहा।
But blinded by his zeal to match Obama's Nobel Peace Prize, Trump is hitting a wrecking ball at the India-US relationship.
You know, he's left all geopolitics to the winds. Geopolitical calculation. It has all become trade and tariff, which also we could live with and adjust with, providing there was some constancy. It changes day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. So how can any country devise a long-term strategy, strategize and come to terms and, then react accordingly? And because of trade and tariffs, because he is peeved with India, he is making a great friend of Pakistan. It is unheard of. A Pakistani general or any general from any country for that matter getting an invite a 2 hours lunch meeting with Donald Trump.
It is personal. It is the prize, not peace.
It's not sudden. Pakistan has been trying for a long time. Pakistan doesn't want to leave the US. It's the US which has distanced itself, especially after Osama bin Laden was found and killed in Abbottabad, and then after the US left Afghanistan. So the US had distanced himself. Now suddenly, I think there are several reasons, and a lot of it is to do with President Trump himself. And very cleverly, Pakistan has pitched itself to massage President Trump's ego, They nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize and he's very tickled about it. They've also pitched Pakistan as being the next biggest thing as far as rare earths are concerned. They've said there are about $7 trillion worth of rare earths and minerals in Pakistan. Nobody knows how, where, kahan.
Trump's vendetta against India seems personal, and that's where a bending over backwards Munir comes in handy.
America is realizing that India is quite obsessed with Pakistan. Not only obsessed, we have worried about the issue of terrorism. But America seems to think that if it can play a Pakistan, it will irritate India. And therefore, it is doing some more of these things. It thinks it can, bring India around by later on saying, okay, we will downscale our relations with Pakistan. We do this, you give us this. So this is one more tool in America's negotiations with India, I think. And thirdly, Trump also thinks that by doing this, he can draw Pakistan a bit away from China.
It is clear that Trump would pivot to Pakistan just out of spite. A sentiment gaining ground in New Delhi.
कुछ लोग हैं जो भारत के का विकास जितनी तेजी के साथ हो रहा है उन्हें रास नहीं आ रहा है, उन्हें अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। सबके बास तो हम हैं, भारत कैसे इतनी तेजी के साथ बढ़ रहा है। और बहुतों के द्वारा यह कोशिश की जा रही है कुछ ऐसा किया जाए ताकि भारत में भारतवासियों के हाथों से जो चीजें तैयार होती हैं वह दुनिया के देशों में जाएं तो उन देशों में बनने वाली चीजों से वह महंगी हो जाए, ताकि भारत की धरती पर भारतवासियों के हाथों से बनी हुई चीजें जब महंगी हो जाएंगी तो दुनिया के लोग उसे नहीं खरीदेंगे। यह कोशिश की जा रही है। लेकिन बहनों भाइयों, भारत जितनी तेजी के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है, मैं पूरे विश्वास के साथ कहता हूं, भारत को अब दुनिया की कोई ताकत विश्व की एक बड़ी शक्ति बनने से रोक नहीं सकती।
This was Defense Minister Rajnath Singh's swipe at Trump's Pakistan lurch on a day when Munir was hobnobbing with CENTCOM generals in Florida, United States. Question is, should we worry?
You know, Donald Trump had started with one grand strategic vision. What was that? At least that is what he had articulated in the run-up to the elections. That was that I need a period of 5 to 6 years for peace and quiet. For what? Peace and quiet so that I can, mend the American economy, restore the American economy to its former primacy, make America great again, MAGA, right? Number one. Number two, I want to rebuild the American armed forces, all of whose reserves of missiles and ammunition, etc., have been expended in Ukraine and the Middle East. I want to rebuild the American armed forces. I want to end the forever wars, and I want to tackle the deep state. I'm afraid 7 months down the line, because of his over-involvement in the day-to-day, minute-to-minute, hour-to-hour control of the trade and tariff wars, he's tiring himself out. As it is, he's 79. He's tiring himself out, right? And the deep state has gotten the better of Donald Trump. Right? The deep state has gotten the better of Donald Trump. And that is a sad fact, a very sad fact.
Asim Munir's visit at cosmetic level may appear to weaken India's stand vis-a-vis its ties with United States. But in the longer run, United States, led by capitalism in its spirit, cannot be driven by only sycophancy and must give in to a stronger economic power.
The United States is sending is, we don't need India as an ally against China. If India is a member of the Quad, so what? We need Pakistan. Pakistan is an ally of China. So, I mean, we are confused. Who is your principal antagonist? What is your grand strategy? Do you have a grand strategy? Right? I don't think so. And the second fact is that, Pakistan, if you are lurching towards Pakistan like you had lurched in the 1971 war, then you leave India no option but you are driving India into the RIC, Russia, India, China camp, just for sheer survival. But we will do it. India is a proud civilizational state. It will not bend, it will not kneel, it will stand up in all its relationships. And the United States is doing itself a great disservice by knocking out the basis of all grand strategies. He is doing damage to the United States. 30 years it had taken to build up friendly relations between India and the United States. We were strategic partners, I thought. Is this the way you treat your strategic partner?
Even Devashar thinks we can give it a pass.
I think India has got a lot on its plate at the moment vis-a-vis the United States to be really concerned about Munir. Yes, somebody should be keeping an eye on who he meets, what he's doing, but I don't think so. After all, these are two sovereign countries. If they want to meet and talk, and if the US thinks that the way ahead for Pakistan is to deal with the military and not the democracy, the democratically elected government, good luck to them.
Long after Trump is gone, it would be left for Indian and American diplomats to pick the threads again of a relationship which was soaring till Trump wrecked it.